Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Farrakhan Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever. And I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is the exalted Christ, the Mahdi. And I bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is Jesus, Messiah. In their names, I greet you all in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Brothers and sisters, I am opening up for my dear brother, Brother Ashton. His subject today is defense of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know, that actually is going to happen.
Yes.
That's coming up.
Yes, sir, it is.
You know, the enemy is seeing what the minister said to us and what he's doing. And the whole world is erupting. The black man is rising.
Right. That's right.
They kicked out France in 4 African countries over there. And so America's trying to shore up France, you know, surreptitiously.
Yes, sir.
You know, but that's not going to work. That whole spirit is going to spread over the whole continent.
All right.
They got Malema down in South Africa talking about kill the Boers.
Yes, sir. Wow.
You know, it's a chant that they do, and a stomp and a dance. And there's millions of them. So the enemy is trying to say, well, we don't want to split the land. You're going to split the land or you're going to get out of the land.
Come on.
See, they got one African brother over there talking about just kick out all white people. The minister said that was coming.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes,
You know?
he did.
So if we are not in that mind frame, then there's a gap between us and the minister.
All right.
Now the minister is being guided by Allah, God,
That's right.
and the Christ, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
They put something in him when he went on that ship in 1985. When he went up, a scroll came down. It's in your scripture. A scroll rolled down to Daniel. And he said it would be sweet in his mouth and bitter in his belly. So a scroll came down and the minister was trying to read it and it went back up. So the sweetest thing about that, if you tuning in on the enemy of God, they are talking about the greatest thing that happened in the 21st century, in the 20th century, was the March on Washington with Martin Luther King. That was not the greatest thing.
Come on.
The greatest thing that happened in the 20th century was the Million Man March.
Come on.
They don't want to talk about that. They never talk about that.
All right.
You know, we have to talk about that. That's the greatest thing that happened. The March on Washington, D.C. with Martin Luther King was a mixture with the enemy.
Come on.
And there was just about as many enemies out there as it was original people. Now the enemy was out there to make sure that when we talked about getting freedom, justice, and equality, we were only talking about civil rights. We wasn't talking about human rights.
Come on.
You know, the worst thing that could, I mean, look at the picture, the image that they gave to people around the world. You can't go sit on the toilet with them where they defecate. You lower than doo-doo.
All right.
Is what they're saying. You can't come in here. Look at the mindset of this enemy. See? Now I gotta say this, you know, because, you know, if I'd have been back in them days, I'd have been dead.
Right? I hear you.
Because I wouldn't have took that stuff.
I know that's right.
I wouldn't have let nobody hit me with a baton, stick no dog on me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was the spirit that God, you know, birthed me with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I would have been dead.
Right. Yes, sir.
If I'd have been on the plantation, I would have been dead.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I was watching the
Me too. Come on, T.
Nat Turner movie the other day.
Yes, sir.
I mean, every time I watch it, I get upset.
They watered it down.
And what I saw in the movie was a little black boy betrayed the whole movement. And you can tell in the movie because they kept focusing on him and the fear that he had in his face that he was going to sell them out.
Yep.
You know, had he not sold them out, they would have killed everybody down that they ran into down south. Dogs, cats, everything.
That's right. Come on.
Anything that was white and wasn't right.
Yes, sir.
Brother. You know, I'm gonna put a pin in that. I want to really just talk about my dear brother Ashton Muhammad. You know, I've been knowing Brother Ashton for 30 years.
Wow.
You know, when I first came down, you know, I was sent down to get me out of the city here so that they could do whatever they wanted to do here with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But Allah had me in both places. And so when I went down, there was a controversy with the brother that they had sent down initially before me, Brother Julius. May Allah be pleased with him. They sent him down because they knew he couldn't handle, you know, the teachings that well because he was new.
Come on.
You know, and it's no shame on him. He was brand new in the nation. So how could he handle, you know, somebody coming from the first part of the nation under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they start questioning him.
Yes, sir.
And they went with Wallace. So now they beat him up, you know. So when I came in the controversy, and I was waiting on the brother, you know. And when he actually came, and he looked, he said, oh, this is, you know, you could feel that he was really arrogant, because he beat up Brother Julius pretty bad. But when he brought that stuff to me, I chopped his head off.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, we
Yes,
never
sir.
seen him again. And that's how I met Brother Ashton. And you know, we used to meet at the Hillside Community Center, and then Brother Ashton and them broke out. This how I know that the teaching is real.
Yes.
Because they broke out and got a building
Yep.
and got a sign that lit up.
Yes, sir. Sure did.
NOI study.
Yes.
I was like, whoa, they beat me to it.
Come
I was
on.
like, go ahead, brother. So, you know, I'm very happy that I met brother. Brother is he's very humble, but in humility is strength.
Yes, it is.
So all praise is due to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And brother, you know, said, well, I'm gonna help. And I said, well, you know, every member in the Nation of Islam is a minister.
That's right.
That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
have to teach at any time.
Yes.
That's right.
If you believe this truth, Allah gives you the spirit.
Yes. Come on with it.
You know, and you feel strong. You feel like, man, I knocked that tree down. You know, but you
Come
feel
on.
like that.
Yes.
Because that's the spirit of God. So that's the spirit I feel from brother. He's very humble though. And he acts like he can't, you know, he really don't want to teach, but you can hear it when he teach. It comes out.
Yes.
That's
sir.
right.
The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Amen.
So with that being said, let me bring our brother up to take us into his lecture, The Defense of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Let's give Brother Gerald. It really does my heart well to see Brother back up on the roster.
Yes.
And I can't wait to
Yes,
hear
sir.
the lecture because when Brother would come down, I still have tapes of Brother that I pop in every now and then because of the way that his spirit, the way he delivers. I pray a lot for that kind of spirit when I deliver, you know, because and you see, he can bring things from what's going on and show you where it is in the teaching, where it is in the scripture. I know, I just say this when I start. I used to call Brother on the phone and I talk to him, and as I'm talking to him, I have a notepad. And as he's talking, we're just having a conversation. I'm taking notes. And by the time I get through talking to him, I have a lecture.
Come on.
Because he drops that on you so much, I got to take notes. I can't remember everything because he's dropping it so hard and so high that I just got to note it down. So thank you, and please give him another hand. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, to whom all holy praise is forever due. In the name of His exalted Christ, most humble Elijah Muhammad, and in the name of our divine reminder, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, I come before you, hopefully as a humble servant of Allah, to deliver a word. And I pray to Allah that I can deliver this word from my mouth as I have it in my heart, in my head, and on paper. So with that, I greet you, sisters and brothers, greetings and green words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Now, in the light of all the things going on, Brother Gerald mentioned a couple of things that was going on in Africa, what's going on around the world. You will see that we in the Nation of Islam, we're taught and we've been warned about a flood. It's mentioned in the book, in Revelation, about a flood. It says, a serpent cast out of his mouth water like a flood. We're taught and we're warned that if we're not prepared, we'll fall for the same tricks that the believers fell for back, some years ago.
Yes, sir.
When Elijah Muhammad was here. Because there was a lot of propaganda.
Yes,
Before
sir.
the message
Go ahead,
left,
brother.
there was some propaganda about it saying that he had these teenage secretaries and he was having sex with them and producing children by them and all this kind of stuff. And in the study guide we're studying now, we understand that slander is made with mud and water. When you say mud,
Yes, sir.
Come on.
the water means there's some truth in it.
That's right.
So anytime they slander you, there's a little truth in it, but it's used in a way to try to hurt you. So now, when they said he had these young women and he was producing children by, that was true. But one thing they didn't tell you, that those were his wives.
They were wives.
That's the part that they left out.
That's right.
So he wasn't breaking any rules. So why didn't he tell us, what's going on? Because we weren't ready for it. I said I was just on the cusp at the time. But I was kind of there. But I said, when I say we, I mean the believers. We weren't ready for it. Because a lot of brothers and sisters would try to do the same thing he was doing, but he was guided by God to do what he was doing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
So we weren't ready for that yet.
That's right.
So we weren't to know that at that time. But when it was put out there, it was put out there in a slanderous way to make him look like an immoral man, like a no good man, like a womanizer. It made him look just ungodly.
Go ahead.
Come
Go
on.
ahead.
And then after the messenger left, then when the family put Wallace Muhammad, or later known as Imam Ward-D Muhammad, they were talking about that the teaching they had was for yesterday. It was symbolic.
Yes, sir.
But it was not relevant to today. That we have a new teaching now. So that was the slander then, that what he was teaching was not real, was not true.
Yeah.
They said that Elijah Muhammad was misguided. They said that even we, the gullible black people, got the wrong Islam. And they said that the one we call Master Prophet Muhammad was really a guy by the name of Wallace Dodd.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was a con man.
Yeah.
Now think of this.
Yes.
Now here's a con man who come to you. And he's with you for a few years. He don't take any money out,
Go ahead.
but he leave you in a better condition than you were before he came.
Talk about
How was that a con man?
Right.
Come on.
Now remember, Bernie Madoff
Yeah.
made off with a lot of...
Yeah, he made it off with
Come on.
millions.
Yeah, he was Jewish, a Jew, and he actually tricked a lot of Jewish people out of their money, out of millions of dollars of money.
That's right.
They wanted his head. What if Bernie Madoff would have made a lot of money, but when the people look at their account, they say, wait a minute, my money's double. Do you think they would have been upset with him?
No,
No,
sir.
If he'd have left them in a better condition? See, Bernie Madoff was a con man. The one we call Master Prophet Muhammad, he didn't do that.
Right.
That's right.
So you can't call somebody a con man when he come there, you're in a deplorable condition, but when he leaves, you're morally better, economically better, spiritually better. You're doing 1,000% better than you were doing. You're healthier because you're eating better.
Right.
All of this, how is that a con man?
Yes.
Come
yes,
on.
Yes.
But we want to believe the worst
Go
in
ahead,
each
brother.
other.
Go ahead.
But we weren't ready then, and the nation fell. But do we allow history to repeat itself?
That's a good question.
That's a good
Now, if we
question.
study and prepare ourselves, we won't be snared by the falsehoods that will be and are being put out there. Because, people will turn on you.
Yeah, they will. In a hot
No matter
second.
how much you deliver the truth to them, they'll turn on you. Remember Jesus and the scribes?
Yes, sir.
Scribes, taking from the word scribble and scribe, those the writers or the media at the time. And when Jesus came to Jerusalem riding on the donkey, people waving palm branches. And they were saying, Hosanna, Hosanna, which means save us or deliver us. But the same people some days later were saying crucify him.
Crucify
Just
him.
flipped on him.
Yeah.
And we got to be careful because people will do that.
Yes.
So we don't study and prepare ourselves, we will fall victim again to the enemy's plan.
Right.
Come on.
Teach.
Brother, talk about the plan of the enemy. His plan of yesterday is still the same plan today.
It's the same plan.
Right.
That same snake that was poisoned yesterday, that snake, thank you, brother, is poisoned today. So just because we don't see the snake, that's because we need to look and see that dragon that it's turned to.
That's right.
It's the same serpent.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
Some will fall victim.
Yes. Yes.
Some will listen to the enemy.
Yes. Yes.
And if our foundation is weak, some of us will fall.
Come on.
So how strong is your foundation?
Can you survive?
Because floods destroy foundation.
That's right.
Okay.
We're talking about the flood of propaganda.
Go ahead.
Floods destroy foundations. Because you've seen on TV, if it hasn't even happened to you, it might have happened to you. But you see, flash flood and the water is eating away at the ground. The next thing you know, you see this house right on the edge. Next thing you know, that house is going into the water.
Yeah.
Falls
Because the
off.
foundation's weak
Yeah.
and the water eat the whole house.
Yeah.
Come on.
Now, what is the enemy's plan? Okay, his plan yesterday is still his plan today.
Yes, sir.
Now let's take a look at this. This is from 1969, but remember, the enemy's plan is the same.
All right.
This is you get this from Freedom of Information, the Freedom of Information Act and all of that. Now you can just Google it.
Man,
It's
they got
from the
us on good.
Counterintelligence Program, Black Nationalists, Hate Groups, Racial Intelligence, Nation of Islam. This is what they're saying. It says, although the Nation of Islam does not presently advocate violence by its members, see, they knew we were nonviolent. They'll say we were, but they knew.
Yeah.
The group does preach hatred of the white race and racial separation. The membership of the NOI is organized and poses a real racial threat. The NOI is responsible for the largest black nationalist newspaper, which has been used by other black extremists. It was Muhammad Speaks at that time.
Yes, sir.
It's a found call today.
Go ahead.
The NOI appears to be the personal fiefdom of Elijah Muhammad. Fiefdom means owned or controlled by one dominant person.
Okay.
They want to call it his fiefdom. Like he's the king. He's king enough for us.
That's right.
When he dies, a power struggle can be expected. Now look at the plan now.
Yes.
Look at that thought.
Yes.
When he dies, the power structure can be expected and the NOI could change direction. We should be prepared for this eventually. We should plan. Hear that?
You should plan.
We should plan how to change the philosophy of the NOI to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race hatred and separatist nationhood aspects.
Go ahead.
Now,
Yes. Yes.
what happened in 1975?
Come on. Right.
Go ahead, brother.
When Warren Dean, Imam Muhammad took over, and this is not a beat up on the Imam. I'm saying this because I was on the cusp, but I was there. I actually saw this. This is not something I read about. So when the Imam took over, he slowly but surely took us to Eastern culture, Eastern customs, and Eastern religion. The plan worked. Now, and I'm going to tell you this is from what I witnessed. In Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Temple 65, we had a building where it was like we had the pews and everything. It was a nice big building. At the top, it was apartments they rented out to single brothers that helped pay for everything. There was a restaurant on the side. I mean, they had it going on. After the Imam took over, well, they went towards Eastern customs, so they took all the seating out, and now we're sitting on the floor. How can you invite somebody to come and sit on the floor?
Right.
Go ahead.
Now, but this, and one day they invited the Arabs over to teach us. Now, again, I'm not a registered member, I'm just on the cusp, but I'm looking up at it. We're sitting on the floor, looking up at them, sitting in chairs. I'm feeling something. I'm noticing something. I'm looking around. Brothers are smiling like they're enjoying it. I'm saying, am I the only one to see this? There was 2 Arabs, 2 brothers, 2 black men. The one was answering all the questions. He kind of, he's very humble, very knowledgeable. And his eyes were kind of half closed like a gargoyle type of thing, real, pious looking.
Go ahead.
And every time they asked a question, he said, my knowledge is very weak and limited. But then he answered the question. And he answered it profoundly. And then I look over at the Arabs. Now, I'm looking at the 2 brothers, both of them dressed with a headdress, the headband, the robe, and sandals, like they do in the desert.
The gay lady and the baba.
I'm looking at the 2 Arabs dressed in suit and tie.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And I said, something's wrong with this picture.
Right.
And I'm sitting there looking at it. This is something I'm seeing. And does anybody else see this? Because you've been in it. The strong brothers used to come on the Southern campus and pull us into the temple. They had to pull me in. Strong brothers come out there in the wintertime, in the rain, in the summertime with a suit on and pushing the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Those strong brothers were sitting out looking up at somebody else.
Go ahead.
The teaching we had,
Yes.
they invited the Arabs over to teach us.
Right.
Well, it wasn't long with it, we lost the building. So now we had to go to the Arab space to worship. We weren't meeting anymore talking about doing anything. We just go over there to pray. Brothers now dressing like Arabs, growing beards. They'll say a prayer, then sit down with the digger beads for another half an hour, 45 minutes. They're just praying, but not working.
Right.
But what did he say? NOI to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race hatred and separate nationhood aspects.
Yes.
Now also, the brothers who were strong, who were a threat, became non-threatening.
Whoa. Go ahead.
They were totally non-threatening.
Go ahead.
They didn't have to go out with it. Then they changed the Muhammad Speaks to Galalian News. They didn't have to go out with the paper. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to dress in suit and tie. They didn't have to do anything. They were dressing like Arabs anyway. And it wasn't called the Nation of Islam anymore. It was called the World Community of Al-Islam in the West.
Wow.
Yeah,
And I
that's
wish I
right.
would have kept that paper when Imam Muhammad took down our flag.
Oh, really?
And he held up the Stars and Stripes. It was on the front page of the paper. Not the white man's paper, the paper he put up. And he had a good point. Our blood, sweat, and tears went into this country. So this country is ours as well. Okay? You made sense.
Yeah.
But God gave us a flag for our nation.
Yeah.
Come on, that's
Talk about
right.
that.
right.
Talk about
But take
that.
this flag
Yeah.
down and put up the flag of the enemy.
Yeah.
This is something I saw. I didn't read about this.
Go ahead.
Come on.
So their plan worked. We left the servitude of white folks to become the servants of Arabs.
Come on.
Still slaves.
Yes.
Now let's read some more.
Read it.
In this connection, Chicago should consider what counterintelligence action might be needed now or at the time of Elijah Muhammad's death to bring about such a change in NOI philosophy. They want to change our philosophy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Important considerations should include identity, strength, and weaknesses of any contenders to the Nation of Islam leadership. That's what it is.
They deleted out the informants. Go ahead.
Okay. What are the positions of our informants? Because they were informants, they were stupid, that's something now. In regards to leadership, how could potential leaders be turned or neutralized? Now, that's their plan. Now, our brother Malcolm, it's not a beat up on brother Malcolm, we love our brother, but we know that he was turned.
They turned him.
They turned him. But we know that before his demise, he was on his way back in.
Yes, sir.
And the messenger was kind of bringing him back in. He was writing letters to the messenger. When white folks figured that out, they said, oh, we better kill him. And they went about to assassinate him before he came back, because that would have been a power if he came back. So, and Imam Muhammad went to Eastern culture, took down the flag, no longer talking about nation, he's talking about community. He was neutralized.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, so their plan worked. Now let's look at a little more. The alternative to changing the philosophy of the NOI is the destruction of the organization. This might be accomplished through generating factionalism among the contenders for Elijah Muhammad's leadership. What is factionalism? That is a condition which a group, organization, government, etc. is split into many smaller parts. When they split it up, and we look at down at the bottom, I have down there some synonyms of factionalism: conflict, dissension, friction. These things come up when you look this up. So, factionalism among the contenders for Elijah Muhammad's leadership are through legal action in probate court on his death. They wanted to tie some things up in court. Again, I went through this. I actually signed a piece of paper that said, because there were those who were suing because they had given charity over the years and was suing to get their charity back.
They burned in hell.
They were suing to get their money back. So they had a signed paper, and I willingly signed it, that what I gave was from my heart, and you keep it, I'm not going to sue you for it to get it back. So that was one of the things that was tied up in court. Chicago should consider the question of how to generate factionalism necessary to destroy the NOI by splitting into several groups. Well, you know, Malcolm had already split off into a group. Wardeen split off into his group. There was Silas, there was Solomon, there was, I think there was an NOI in Detroit under Brother John Muhammad. Clarence 13 next split off. So there's a lot of factionalism going on. Their plan worked.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So what are they planning now?
Come on with it.
The same thing.
Same thing.
Yep.
Changing the technology.
So do we let history repeat itself?
No, sir.
So why am I bringing up old history?
We need to know, brother. Go ahead.
Exactly. You either be familiar with the history or you'll be doomed to repeat it.
That's what I'm talking about.
So when we speak like this, some will speak against the Honorable Farrakhan and Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They might ask Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Elijah Farrakhan, what have you done for us? But then I ask him, what has Mr. Farrakhan and Honorable Elijah Muhammad done to you as opposed to what they have done for you?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know what they've done.
That's right.
Some say, well, Farrakhan ain't no put no money in my pocket. You know how we talk.
Yeah.
Farrakhan ain't, but he ain't never reached in his pocket and stole none out either.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Those who take your taxes don't pay your taxes.
They steal it all the time.
They steal it all the time.
Go ahead,
They say, well, I don't even make enough money to pay no income tax. But go buy something for $100, and then they give you a bill of $107.
Yep.
Tell them you don't want to pay that $7. Then you don't get the item.
Yep.
You have to pay taxes no matter what.
Yeah.
So they'll get you the tax money, and a fool in his money, you know.
Sure
Really work hard.
Go ahead.
Now, but Clarence 13 next came out of the the temple.
That's right.
Most people, when the movie Malcolm X came out, were wearing the X on our hats, X on our shirt, X on our pants. We didn't know what the X meant.
That's right.
We're walking around with an X.
Yes, sir.
Right? The most significant event in history, we probably touched on this also, especially for black people, was the Million Man March.
Million Man March.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But, but I searched. I couldn't find anything with Time Magazine when they have the most significant events or the most significant influential people of the century. Didn't see anything about the Million Man March. Not even for that year.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I don't think Oprah put it on her show.
She did.
Now here it is, a man calls for 1 million men, black men, to come to Washington. Almost 2 million show up. No fights, no arrests,
No argument.
no arguments.
No, sir.
Everybody from all over the world, all gangs and everybody came there. Total peace. And you don't even get nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize?
Black people. All black people.
You know you can't get 10 black people in a room without a fight. So.
Yes, sir.
That's real. That's so real.
Now you say Mr. Farrakhan has done nothing for us. But let's look at what the white man has done for us. Because you know they said we were in the trees swinging around with the monkeys and bumping our noses, eating juniper fruit, eating each other. And we should be thankful that the white man went to Africa, got us and brought us over here and civilized us. Because now we're doing so much better. You think everybody in Africa swinging around the trees.
Absolutely.
You don't know about all the civilization that was in Africa.
Yes,
They
sir.
don't want you to know about this. They brought us here and taught us civilization. We should be thankful. So what? They don't know why you marching. Didn't we give you affirmative action? Didn't we give you food stamps? Didn't we give you welfare?
Yeah. Come on.
Low income
You can't
housing.
give freedom. You can only take it away. But for 300 years of working us from can't see morning to can't see night for no pay, put us in a veritable hell for raping our women. I'm guessing, but I bet the so-called Negro in America, from 90-95% of the so-called Negro have some amount of white blood in them because of rape.
Yes, sir.
Probably closer to 99%. See, when you see this, that means I was raped. There was rape on both sides of my family, father side and mother side.
Go ahead, brother.
So, thank you, white folks, since you brought us over here to civilize. Thank you for that. When you so-called freed us, you promised us 40 acres, $50 on a mule, and reneged on that. Thank you, white folks, for kidnapping us from Africa and putting us in the holds of ships. You didn't make it comfortable. You lay brothers down on that board, and the pitching and roaring of the boat would wear the brothers down to the bone.
Yes, sir.
Can you think of the pain and the suffering that brothers are enduring? When you get too sick or too hurt, they just toss you overboard, dead or alive. And if they had any sisters on board, they never made it. They were gang raped every night until they were so sick and so diseased up, they didn't want to touch them anymore and just tossed them overboard. Thank you, white folks, for bringing us over here and civilizing us. For the 50 to 100 million who died in the Middle Passage alone.
Yeah,
The
go
ones
ahead.
who didn't make it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, white folks, for the slave-breaking plantations, breeding us like animals. Man was used to just to breed, and then he wasn't taking care of his children. There was no family structure. Now we're still seeing that today, and really that's a throwback from slavery because we were destroyed as a people.
Yes,
Right.
true, brother.
So this was, I'm not going to say it's not our fault that we're not getting ourselves out of it,
Right.
but it is not our fault that we're put in it.
That's
now.
correct.
But we do have to pull ourselves out of it.
Right.
You can't blame the white man for everything. I
That's
can, yes I
correct.
can. The only thing I can't blame him for is that when he so-called gave us our freedom, then we need to have enough intelligence to go and get free.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
For selling us like farm animals. Thank you, white folks. And after we were free, you never meant for us to be free. You open the gates and say, okay,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I gotta say it. Only when I teach. Okay, nigga, you can go now. He's out there, all he has is clothes on his back.
Yeah.
What can he do? Where can he go?
That's right. Come
The
on
only
with
thing he
it.
can do is go back to the plantation.
Yes,
Work for the
yes.
white man, same one
Right.
he's a
Come on
slave.
with it, brother.
And
That's
then he
right.
say, the white man said, okay, well, I'll let you stay in this house. It's the same shack you were staying in before. You're very poor. I'll let you use my land. I'll let you use this. You can use my farmhouse and give you seed. And then the brother works all year. And then he sells all his crops and he makes some money. So, well, boss, I think I can go now. Well, Sam, let's tally up what you gonna believe.
Yeah.
For using my land.
All the time. My land, rent on that fine house you got there. My seed, using the horses and everything else. When that white man get through tallying it up, the brother owed him.
Yep.
And now he has to go back and work. That's called what? Sharecropping. And from what I understand, there's still that type of thing going on.
Right now.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama.
Right now.
Black people, a family of black people not getting educated, not getting any health care, don't even know what school is, but living like slaves.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, white folks. You made us dependent on you. A lot of us say, well, no, I'm not no slave. I'm free, I'm equal, I'm independent. Yeah, you think you got a good job, making good money, you got a nice car, got a nice apartment, or even maybe buying your own house, and you think you're free. Shame on you.
That's right.
You modern day slaves.
That's right.
For the 10,000 or more lynchings and burnings in the streets,
10,000 of them.
Go ahead.
That's the ones
that's the one they counted.
That's the one that report yesterday.
So thank you, white folks, for this. Since we need to thank you for bringing us over to civilize us, for killing our leaders who would have made a better way for us. Thank you, white folks. And white people, when you kill our leadership, you didn't give us any leadership.
Nope.
For locking up our brothers and sisters when they're not guilty. Or if they are guilty, you put them in a condition where they had to break your laws in order to survive.
Come on now, son.
Thank you, white folks. For all the Rodney King type beatings. You know, there was beatings like that. Thousands
Long
of millions on before and
Rodney
thousands
King.
afterwards.
Yeah.
They just have to catch him on camera.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. But miseducated, undereducated, or not educating us at all, then use our ignorance as an excuse to discriminate against us. Thank you, white folks. For preying on our black community with the stores. Jews, you put kosher stores in your neighborhood, and you put stores in our neighborhood, and you sell us pork that you don't eat yourself. You sell us cigarettes, alcohol, and everything under the counter that that's poison for us. And like brother said, we talk about Jews, but Arabs will way into that as well.
Yeah.
They will say assalamu alaikum to you, but still selling you pork.
They sure do.
Now how can you, if I had some poison, I know it's poison, but I'm going to give it to you, I'm going to sell it to you, make money off that, and tell you to take it. Yeah,
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'm a murderer, I'm a demon if I did that. And what did we get after 400 plus years of this? Of this slavery, suffering, and death? Yeah, we got a job.
Go
We didn't
ahead.
have why they brought us over here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If the Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan did nothing for you, it's better than what white folks did to you.
Come on with
The
it.
Negroes say that. They don't call a white man on the carpet when he's done. We have a hell of a nerve to attack Mr. Farrakhan. See, it's the ignorant ones of our people that will hold Mr. Farrakhan accountable,
Yes.
but won't hold that same accountability to the cracker who put us in that condition.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say crack.
No, I'm kidding. Keep rolling.
That's not a racial term.
Right.
That's a
Right.
slave term.
Yes, yes.
The cracker, if you didn't know, I know we know here, but if you didn't know, when the overseer was riding the horse, he had a rifle in one hand and a whip in the other hand. You look like you ain't working, he cracked the whip on your back. That's where that term comes from. Cracker. But it's just like Jesus of the scripture. It was a chief priest that moved the people. Pilate, when he was about to crucify Jesus, asked the people, we have here the Son of God, the one you call the Son of God, and we have Barabbas. I will free one. Which one do you want to free? The criminal. And they said, free Barabbas. And the same thing would happen during the Clinton and Mike.
Yeah.
Black folks came out in
Droves. Go ahead,
to
brother.
defend Clinton,
Bill Clinton.
an immoral man, an adulterer, a liar. Did not have sexual connection. Lying. Straight up lie. They defended him. Black folks was his best defender. Because when you ask, Louis Farrakhan, Bill Clinton, they took Barabbas. Now we have Biden. Do we let it repeat itself?
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Biden.
That's us.
Remember, Pilate said at one point, he said, I see nothing no fault in this man.
That's right.
They said, I don't see nothing this man has done wrong. They said, well, kill him anyway.
That's right.
See, when Jesus marched into Jerusalem, after raising Lazarus from the dead, it was the chief priests and the scribes said, we got to stop this man. Else everyone would go after
The
him.
whole world.
And brothers and sisters, the story of Lazarus, I think we may be familiar with it. But just in case somebody's going to look at it, come on. Lazarus is talking about us.
That's right.
Yeah.
The story of Lazarus, Lazarus was sick. Martha went, if I get this a little wrong, please correct me later. Martha went to another city where Jesus was and found him and said, Master, please come. The one you love is sick, and we can come and help him. And Jesus said, all right, I'll be everywhere.
Yes,
He said,
yes.
One you love.
He's just going to hang around. See, look. A few days later, he came back, and Martha told him, said, well, Master, if you would have come when we asked you, maybe you could help him. He's been dead now for 4 days. And he's stinking. The body's stinking. She said, he's not dead.
Come on.
Just asleep.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
Take me over where you have him.
That's right.
Come on now. Then he went over, go back to stone world. And he said, Satan, loose him. Let him go. Then he called out, Lazarus, come forth.
That's right.
Lazarus got up, hands tied, feet tied, veil over his eyes. What does that represent?
Go ahead. Find different.
Dead person on a horizontal level.
On October 16, 1995, October 16, 1995,
Yes, sir.
Minister Louis Farrakhan came to a people, like Lazarus was dead for 4 days,
Come on.
he came to a people that was dead for 400 years.
That's right.
But were they really dead?
No, sir.
No. They were just asleep.
Yes, sir.
He came there, he called the march on a Monday,
On a Monday.
when we're tied to our jobs.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's right.
We're tied to
Go
everything.
ahead.
White man got us. We
Yeah.
can't leave.
Yeah.
I said, Satan, loose him.
Go ahead.
Let him go.
Yes, sir.
Because we couldn't do anything for ourselves, but when he called, Lazarus come forth. He asked for 1 million. Almost 2 million came.
Did. Yes, he did.
They undid the bonds from the hand. But our feet were tied. We couldn't go where we wanted to go. But we got there. We got there. Because he called for us. So, so now, before we couldn't do anything for ourselves, we couldn't go where we wanted to go. We had that thing over our eyes. We were blind to the truth. And our condition was stinking.
Yes, sir.
We are Lazarus.
Yes.
But we got up.
That's right.
We got up that day on a Monday and came out and answered the call. There were brothers out there, they were interviewing and said, do you follow Farrakhan? No, I don't follow Farrakhan. Why are you here? I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't know because they heard a call.
That's right.
Lazarus heard a call. He got up. Did he know who called him?
Come on now.
He just heard a call and got up.
That's right.
These brothers heard a call.
Yeah.
And they got up.
Yes, sir.
Got up.
Yes,
Come on with
sir.
it, brother.
Go ahead.
That's right.
Now the Jews, government, white folks,
Same people.
All right.
All same people.
they say, you gotta get this nigga. You gotta get him. Because we don't, the whole world will go after him.
That's right.
Right.
Now when you look at Mr. Farrakhan, especially when you have one of the same days, the big lectures, and look at all that's on the roster with him. Is that the dais or whatever it's called?
Yes, sir.
Look at who's there with him. The whole world is represented.
Come on.
He's not there proselytizing for the Nation of Islam, or for Islam in general. He's there to save the world.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
that's what he was there.
Now, what did the enemy do after the Million Man March?
Go ahead.
White Christians council, they got together. They started building big churches to attract black people. Because you know, we'll go to anything that's built, it's big, and we'll give you something. Yeah, they'll go. They'll listen to white folks first anyway.
Yes, sir.
They came up with some promise keepers.
Yeah.
Statement of faith, okay.
Now, this is a part of what they believe. Now, when Minister Farrakhan, correct me if I'm wrong, for those who were there, did Minister Farrakhan ever reach out and say, come join the Nation of Islam?
No, sir.
He could have.
He said, go back and join the church. Go back and join the NACP. Go back and join some organization and make that organization better.
That's
right.
He wasn't proselytizing. He wasn't trying to bring members to himself.
That's right.
What did they do?
They want to bring it back.
We believe that there is one God. This is their statement of faith.
Council of Nicaea.
Yep.
All over again, brother.
That is the Nicene Creed all over again. We believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. We believe the Bible is read it for yourself. Now, he's calling the coach, Colorado coach, what's his name, Bill? Somebody, I forget. But he was calling for people to join the church, to join their philosophy. Mr. Farrakhan never did that.
No, sir. No, sir. Bring it. Good teaching.
Enemy says, you gotta stop this man.
Home. God, give some salvation.
So I just want to conclude with this. This is from one of the study guides, the words of Minister Farrakhan. It says, there are many servants of Allah in the Bible and the Holy Quran whose names and the circumstances of their lives could be mentioned for further study and analysis. However, if we just try to walk in the shoes of the servants of Allah presented in this study guide, we will have experienced the full range of emotion. Hopefully, this study guide will have prepared us for the onslaught of the devil. And he quotes now from the book of Revelation 12, 13 to 17. He's quoting Revelation. It says, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman who brought forth the male child. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water like a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away by the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Who's that earth?
Come on now.
That swallowed up all that propaganda. And the dragon was angry with the woman, and he went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
That's us.
Who is the remnant of her seed?
That's us.
Who keep the commandments of God. And again, Mr. Farrakhan is speaking here. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us that the flood represents propaganda.
Right.
And the enemy, in his attack on Saddam Hussein, went to the air with such a terrific bombardment that the ground war ended in less than a week. The enemy of Allah and our enemy may take to the air in a vicious barrage of propaganda like a flood. Floods uproot strong trees. Floods bring snakes out of their hiding places.
That's right.
All right.
And scripturally on that.
Heavy, heavy, heavy.
Floods undermine the foundation of buildings and railroad tracks. How strong is your foundation in the face of a flood of propaganda?
Yes, come on with it.
Earth helped the woman by swallowing the water. With this study guide, properly digested and acted upon, we may be able, with the help of Allah, to make the enemy's evil slander of no effect. Our prayer is that the Nation of Islam will be seen like Noah's Ark, a mercy floating on before our eyes. May Allah bless each and every student to master the wisdom contained within.
Yes, sir.
And I pray that we're blessed with light of understanding.
That's right.
And
Go ahead,
Come
brother.
on, brother.
Who would you bless the truth and the light of understanding? So I leave you as a greeting and bring words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
sir.
Oh, praise be to Allah.
With that, my conclusion here, does anyone have any questions on something I may have said? And if it's something you have a question on the Nation of Islam in general, I will attempt to answer it. If I do not know the answer, I will not try to guess the answer.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to try to fake it in front of you. But there's someone here that can answer.
Yes, sir.
And if there's no one here that can answer, trust me, we have the answer.
Yes, sir.
That's right. We can get it. If we have to go over and reach the bar.
Yes, sir.
Any questions at this time? Was I that plain?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Bless you. Light of understanding, like I said. And I thank you. Bless me for getting that over to you. So, at this time then, there's a principle in, you're going to bring it? Okay. So, I'm going to leave you again as I greet and read words of peace. Bringing back our brother, student minister Gerald Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Let's keep it going for Brother Ashton. I told you. Brother Stupid, he's humble, but in humility is power. That was a very good lecture. Thank you, Brother Ashton. I told you he was going to bring it. Now those references, I wanted to ask you, brother, where did you get those references?
From Gag Hoover?
Yes, sir.
I Googled it. Simple as that.
It's on Google.
You can just go online and get just about anything. I'm just saying this, I already had this printed out years ago, but I said, well, let me pull it up, and I pull it up, and I actually pull exact words up somewhere.
Yes,
So
sir.
I had this for like 15 years, and waiting for the time to show.
Yes, sir.
But it's right there.
As Brother gave us that will aid us in and help us in our defense. That's going to have to come up here short. That's coming up. So at this time, brothers and sisters, you know, I'm kind of rusty. But it's time for charity. So I don't want to just take charity. I want to challenge us to charity. So my challenge is, I have 100. Who can match?
Can't imagine today, but
Waiting on that white man to drink.
Sister Amy said she could match.
Oh, praise
You
Allah.
get to speak. You get to speaking and all of a sudden somebody done jumped out there ahead of you.
Yes.
Sister Amy said she can match.
Oh, praise to Allah.
You got any more matches?
come on, man.
Uh-oh, is that Brother Akbar back there, he whipping out 100?
Yeah.
Akbar.
Praise Allah.
I got 30 in a promise.
30 in a promise. You know, that's all right with us. 30 in a promise is good. Now you can go down in denomination. Oh, Brother David.
I got 100.
Brother David got 100. All praises. Brother David. Now you can go down in denomination. You can go 50. You can go 20. But if you go 50, somebody got to match you. If you go 20, somebody got to match you. So 10. Somebody got to match that 10. This is the match game. We want to make sure everybody matched up properly. Yes, all right. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
So keep going, brother.
I got 20.
Uh-oh, there's 20. Who's the match on that?
I had the first one.
You did?
I had the first one, yes.
Okay, so Brother Star match, Brother Keith, you a match to Brother Star. He gave 20.
Yes, sir.
So we looking for the matches now. Praise Allah. I want to say, Brother Star visited me in the hospital.
Yes.
I was in terrible conditions.
So look at you now.
Sister Tamika visited me too,
Yes, sir.
and I was in a terrible condition. Brother visited me, gave me a greeting card.
and in the greeting card was some money. And I was like, oh, praises. So, Sister Tamika visited me and gave me some beans.
All right.
Muslim state.
Yes, sir.
All praises due to Allah. I was in there pretty messed up. And, but Allah had me conscious. I was conscious.
Yes, he was.
So
Yes, he was.
if we hadn't been conscious, they would have killed me.
Yes, sir.
So be aware that COVID is on the rise again.
Yes,
right.
And it mutated.
Yes, sir.
So take care of yourself.
Yes.
Read in the Final Call newspaper the remedies that we have to boost your immune system, to keep your immune system up, because your body will fight off anything
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
if it's prepared.
Right.
So prepare yourself.
Yes, sir.
You know, the enemy is trying to kill us.
Absolutely.
He's been trying to kill us for a long time.
Yes, yes.
So now we at the door of the kingdom of God and at the door of death at the same time.
My God.
But we're going to prevail.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes, sir.
praises due to Allah.
Yes,
So
sir.
Wednesday night they have a meeting here that starts at 7
7 o'clock.
o'clock, and they're studying in the ministry. And so I'm hearing that it's a pretty good
Oh,
class.
that's excellent.
I may have to pay a visit
Please do.
if I can.
Please do.
Friday night study class, self-improvement, the basis for community development. I see a lot of people out there.
No, you're okay, son.
Just collect.
You're okay.
Oh, okay.
You're all right.
All right, we still collecting? And we need a big
No, we're not
bag.
collecting. No, that's collecting. Throw it in the bag.
We need a big bag, dragging it down the aisle, you know. So praise Allah. We done with the charity? $30? We need $30. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. All right. $30.
I got 5 to it.
Here's 5. We need 25.
I matched that 5.
He's matching 5. We need 20.
Yeah, man, take the bet.
Uh-oh. Brother Akbar, he don't like to play around. See? He's from the first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Them brothers and sisters didn't play with charity when the Honorable Elijah
Come on.
was here.
That's how we need to be found.
They build a nation.
Exactly.
And we standing on their shoulders.
Yes, sir.
Don't ever forget
I
that.
know that's right. Yes, sir.
Yes,
When
sir.
our pioneer brothers and sisters come out, they deserve all respect.
That's
Yes, sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
Because we standing on their shoulders.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You know, when I first came in the nation, that's all I was trying to find was the pioneer brothers. I wanted to know. You know, because when I heard this truth, I was like, damn, I missed that. I need to find the people that know about this. So I went out and searched for them. And I found Brother Zaki, Brother Sabir, may Allah be pleased with him, Sister Willie Esther, who was she was a wife to one of the brothers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I started finding people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I found the sister that made the golden bird chicken. Shoot, y'all don't know much about the golden bird. When I was a little boy, we dropped the KFC and went to golden bird because it tastes really good. It was a Muslim recipe.
All right.
And so did we get to 30?
Yes, sir.
Praise Allah, but you got to give me the sign. Because I'm going to talk. All right, so Friday night, self-improvement, the basis for community development. Very powerful class. As Brother mentioned in his lecture about mud, and there's a substance to make mud is water. And so we are studying that right now. And it's very powerful. We are trying to get ready to close the gap because we don't know when the enemy is going to attack. We don't know.
Thanks for watching, you guys. We both love and appreciate you for doing so, but we need for you to take some action and do us 1 or 2 or maybe 3 more favors. And that is go ahead and smash that like button. Share it if you really dig the video. And also subscribe. That way you'll get a bell ding, a notification every time we post something. And it also helps us with regards to the algorithm that, you know, your people like to run. So go ahead and do that, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Peace, everybody. It's your brother Herman Supreme Style Muhammad. Just wanted to drop in and let you know what we have going on. In addition to our community work that we've been doing for years, and in addition to being the sole proprietor of Supreme Style Barbershop, where we've been serving the community for close to 25 years, now we've partnered up with an insurance company called Ethos in an effort to help our people with life insurance. That's something that we all need. I know it's something that we don't want to think about, but it is something that we all need if we want to leave anything to our loved ones when we leave this space. So do me a favor, click on the link or go to our website astar2.com and click on the Ethos page. We'll see you on the other side.